Hey everyone, before I get started, I just want to remind you that if you like my content, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and then join the Militiaman and Crew Patreon community by clicking the link in the caption. Hey, good evening everybody. It's Militiaman and Crew once again. We're here going to be hard at it. Today is Thursday. Sorry we missed you yesterday, but hey, it's just the way the news cycles work and just business as usual. We got some really good information if you guys have been paying attention to the news of late. Samson, our news hound in patreon.com with MM and Crew, it's been amazing. Literally the other day, she stacked me up with about 90 or more articles to go over. What a task. But hey, brilliant. It sets us up for so much information, and I'm going to just do some of the headlines because all of this information you can find in patreon.com/MM and Crew, and you can find us. Okay, so please do and come see us. Private sector is the only way to economic stability. So this gentleman by the name, he's a Parliamentary Finance Committee, Atwan al-Atwani, says the central bank governor Ali Alak to discuss three main files while he's here in the United States, while noting that the private sector is the only way for economic stability. So that's what they're saying. The only way for economic stability is basically through the private sector. The committee intends to host the governor of the central bank shortly. They'll have an issue of the dollar exchange rate and discuss what was adopted by the finance committee for these sustainable development projects. They're basically stating that the private sector is the only way to raise sustainable development and economic stability. So, and what does it come through? It comes through automation, digital transformations, and many other sets of measures that they have. So it's pretty fascinating. That was the other day. And here's another one, al-Sudani's economic portfolio. Iraq moves towards major American companies for investment. As you're going to see, that's absolutely true. That's exactly what they're doing. And you'll see evidence of that. This article basically is stating that the Investment and Development Committee in the House of Representatives revealed that the Prime Minister al-Sudani, their efforts with major American companies to invest in Iraq, so that was their focus while he's been here. The economic investment files are a priority during his visit to Washington, and absolutely the case. So that's a good article for you guys to check out and read. The next one is a member of Sudanese delegation. We will witness a rapid decline of the dollar in the coming days. So when they say the rapid decline of the dollar, I don't believe for a moment that they're saying that the dollar is going to crash. What I believe that they're saying is that their expectation is that the dinar is going to rise. Another good article, so check that one out in Patreon. And in our Discord chat room, of course, all of this stuff is layered in. Discord has each and every article. I don't get a chance to analyze every single one, but Samson brings in everything into Discord with Militiaman's chat room. So make sure that you check that out. It says that we will witness a rapid decline of the dollar in the coming days. It says that they suggest that there's complete control of the dollar exchange rate and a clear and rapid decline is in the coming days. And this came out on the 16th. So hopefully we'll see something anytime now. The Sudanese government is basically in the field of financial reform. What are they moving for? They're moving towards complete control of the dollar exchange rate. And we may witness a clear and rapid decline in the coming days. The U.S. Treasury praised the Iraqi government's steps in developing the banking sector. Okay, so they're effectively being on board, and they're also talking about regarding lifting sanctions on private banks. We haven't seen the end result of that yet, but we probably will not too terribly far because things are heating up really big. Here's another article that people didn't quite talk too much about, but it's just a reiteration. It says the U.S. supports Iraq in joining the WTO. Remember back, Iraq had some help from Saudi Arabia. They kind of boasted that Saudi Arabia helped them with about 15 years of work in 1 year. And here we are. Now the United States is giving them support. It says even Iraq has renewed its commitment to joining the World Trade Organization. And then it goes on to say that the United States has pledged support for a series of projects under the International Visitor Leadership Program aimed at developing expertise in these areas among Iraqis. Both parties have recognized the importance of strategic projects and infrastructure development in Iraq, which support regional integration and enhance international trade. So here again, WTO is an open focus. They're not letting you forget about it, which is a good thing. Another article that's out, and we're going to be seeing, I believe it here's come Monday, Erdogan's visit to Iraq. What's he want? He's basically coming to town with the water issue is the most important item, and he heads to Erbil after Baghdad. I think they go on to say that he may do it, but hey, if he's in Baghdad, why not scoot on up to Erbil and see how that's going? Erdogan confirms on Wednesday that the water issue will be one of the most important items on his agenda during his visit. He hinted at visiting Erbil in Baghdad. There's going to be more to this on the story, but bottom line is he's coming to town. Al-Sudani, as we said just a few minutes ago, has a big motorcade once again, probably the third or fourth one. I think it's at least the third that I've witnessed in Dearborn, Michigan this evening. So he is in the United States still, and I believe there's a large population of Iraqis in Dearborn, Bloomfield, those portions of Michigan. So tonight could be an exciting night for the Iraqis. It also could be an exciting night for Al-Sudani. So maybe some of those folks have some questions for him. We'll see if there's going to be any. I think tomorrow there's a meeting from the Atlantic Council that could have exposure of some questions and answers. We'll see how that goes too. But here's another article that is on a different note. It says the budget tables, we're back to Iraq's budget, are almost complete and will take into account urgent circumstances and variables. Realize that Iraq has not shown their 2023, 24, 25 budget, the tripartite budget, exposed those numbers yet, those schedules, those texts. They said they were going to have those after Eid. It's after Eid and Eid al-Fitr, and they also haven't given them to the House of Representatives yet. They're scratching at the bit, chomping at the bit, I should say, to get that information. So I think when Al-Sudani gets back, it's going to be kind of intense. Is it exciting? Of course it is. It's going to be fascinating. It says the presentation of the financial schedules for the fiscal year of 2024 by the executive authority for parliamentary approval is to be flexible legislative path as an integral part of the financial constants and principles of the Federal General Budget Law number 13 of 2023, tripartite. Okay, so they're it's still focused. They haven't done it yet. And what does that entail? It probably entails that those schedules and budgets have a sensitive number involved in it, possibly the exchange rate. We believe that's the case. So Al-Sudani, what's he been doing? He's been hammering out deals in the United States. In this particular case, was out the other day. I mentioned that they had 41 military planes they purchased. As you're going to find, there's a lot more to it, which is really good. And then here another article is Al-Sudani receives Washington, the chairman of JP Morgan. Once again, those that say that JP Morgan is not, they don't know anything about it, well, they should read up. Maybe they should come into Patreon and visit with us in Discord, because it says, while pointing out that the government is implementing projects that will achieve sustainable development, President of JP Morgan Bank says that his government's efforts in implementing the financial and banking reforms were discussed. It says that the government's efforts in implementing financial and banking reforms were discussed, improving the economic situation and achieving development, in addition to discussing the government's measures to develop government banking sector. And they go on. It says it's not possible to work in any development sector without reforms, steps, banking within the banking sector, and a need to continue the dialogue with the United States Treasury, the U.S. Federal Reserve, and the International Monetary Fund, and other international financial institutions. Well, didn't we know that JP Morgan was one of the banks that was cited as being one of those banks that was going to have confidence in the world financial system, and who was going to be one of the countries to support or be the savior was Iraq. And that there is a recent article directly talking about JP Morgan Bank, okay? And that's big. So another article is the Sudanese government seeks to liberalize the Iraqi dinar and stabilize the economy. That's a powerful article, you guys. Totally powerful. Liberalize the Iraqi dinar. What did they say? Make it stronger than the dollar? Sudani's even said so. Okay. Big article. Come into the room and check that one out. It says confirmed that the visit of Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani in Washington came to liberalize the Iraqi dinar and stabilize the economy. They're going to basically move Iraq from a military focus, moving the process of the guardianship to friendship. They're opening files and outlets through which the relationship can be framed in a way that allows Iraq to assume its pivotal role in the region. They're going to come right back to the way they were in the past. And because of their geographics and because of their circumstances, the Iraq dinar and Iraq country is going to be a pivotal place. And what are they doing? They're moving to seriously towards this path of development. Okay, sustainable development. You've heard all these big, huge buzzwords, and they are just amazing that they are actually doing all the things that they said they were going to do for over a year and a half now under al-Sudani's watch. It says here, the National Security Advisor, he says, Iraq is not afraid to shift in the American administration. So in other words, all these reforms that they're doing are not going to shift from an administration. So if whatever they do today will proceed into the future under another administration, if there is one. That's exactly what they're saying. It says Iraq is not afraid of the shift in the American administration and is prepared to deal with all circumstances that serve its interests. They go on to say that the strategic framework agreement with American side is comprehensive and it covers all fields and they are keen to activate it through a real and sustainable partnership that is not affected by the change in the American administration. So come on into the room, check that one out. It is obviously a big one. National unity, societal cohesion, a dominant feature. The internal situation is basically witnessing more societal and political stability. So check that out, because that's what's happening in Iraq. This is what they're telling us, and I believe that to be true, especially with the allocates that al-Sudani is getting, the motorcades he's getting, all the business he's getting, all the dominating huge MOUs, contracts, etc. It's fascinating. His reception is profound. He didn't get snubbed on the White House lawn. He is welcomed with open arms in our country, which is fascinating. This last one here for this particular stack is al-Sudani agrees with General Dynamics to develop Iraq's armament. So think about that. Iraq is getting ready to purchase new weapons. They're buying new planes. They're getting new tanks. So they're moving from a security position to now to be able to defend themselves. They're coming to the United States, elsewhere, to buy equipment and to have maintenance. All that takes a lot of money. To F-16s, for instance, if you have a stack of those in your arsenal, they need new parts. They need maintenance. They need expertise. That's what they're getting. This article here is they publish a memorandums of understanding that were signed between the Iraqi delegation and the American companies. I believe that there's, in the first stack is 4, and another stack is 14, and they have names like General Electric, Honeywell Company, Mack, like Mack Truck, for instance, engines, equipment, American company, KBR, to develop the oil fields, National Bank of Iraq and the American International Financial Development Corporation, Transatlantic Petroleum Company, Hanwell, Baker Hughes, Emerson Company, Arc Energy, Emerson Company, the GE, Honeywell. You see the picture? These are massive companies in the United States that are all geared and ready to go to do business in Iraq. And that's been going on for the last couple of days. Now, there's an article that came out today that says Bush signed it and all presidents implemented it. Iraq's funds have been under Americans' guardianship for 21 years. This is in reflect to the Executive Order 13303. This is what this article specifically states. It says, this current president, Joe Biden, signed a decree extending the state national emergency related to the situation in Iraq for another year, which stated there are still obstacles to the orderly reconstruction of Iraq, restoring and maintaining peace and security in the country, and developing political, administrative, and economic institutions in Iraq. Okay, so that's what they said. This is what this article is. It's printed today. It goes on through the order 13303, 13303, describes what it is, but one of the things I want to make a point of is that this article is printed today. It goes on through the order 13303, describes what it is, but one of the things I want to make a point of is that this article is printed today. It goes on through the order 13303, describes what it is, but one of the things I want to make a point of is that this article is printed today. It goes on through the order 13303, describes what it is, but one of the things I want to make a point of is that this article is printed today. It goes on through the order 13303, describes what it is, but one of the things I want to make a point of is that this article is printed today. It goes on through the order 13303, describes what it is, but one of the things I want to make a point of is that this article is printed today. It goes on through the order 13303, describes what it is, but one of the things I want to make a point of is that this article is printed today. It goes on through the order 13303, describes what it is, but one of the things I this if in fact this is talking about what he did in May of 2023, if that's the case, it says here, according to the U.S. national emergency law, failure to renew the executive order within a period of 90 days from the date of previous renewal means that it will become invalid. So in essence, we're not even into May yet, and that's when it was signed. So there's still an additional 90 days tacked on to that last date. All right? So keep in mind, they say it's been signed. They don't refer to it, but they also tell you that, hey, there's 90 days. With what we're seeing right here, I frankly don't care. I think what we're going to see is well within that 90-day period. And then again, they can still sign it. What is it? It's a protection. Read it. Read what it says. It's a protection for Iraq. Iraq's interests and the U.S.'s interests. They wouldn't have done this if that wasn't the case. All these years that's been in place, it's been, in my view, a good thing because it's a protection from debtors, not creditors, but debtors. And it's derived from the DFI fund and the Paris Club. So, if I got it wrong, which I don't think so, it's going to be a moot point anyway. So let's move forward. Contracts. Sudani is discussing the American company and completion of Basra refinery. Who's involved? We just talked about one of them. Hanwell. And basically, what are they looking for? Upgrading the Basra refinery. They're doing contracts for that. And what is they also emphasizing? They're emphasizing, because we're going to do all these things, that they want to emphasize that we need to stop the military escalation and the conflict in the country. So I've been getting reports of people here in the United States talking about that some of this information that I just mentioned, that to stop the escalation in the region is very public, and it's real. They don't want the place to get blown up. They want everything. They want business to run. They want everything to settle down, and that's one of the articles that gets started on that. There's more to them. There's plenty more that talk about it. But another company was Hughes, establishing chemical factories in Iraq. It says Baker Hughes delegation confirmed the company's readiness for further cooperation in the Iraqi government and private sector. Their readiness to apply smart solutions in the field of developing oil and gas fields. It's just like that Hanwell company. Here's Lockheed Martin, Fast and Furious, the CEO of Lockheed Martin, F-16 fighter aircraft. They're talking about what? The importance of the company's commitment to opening centers in the maintenance military aircraft, providing spare materials for them inside Iraq, given the importance of this matter regarding the rehabilitation of Iraqi aircraft to maintain the security of the country. So they're moving forward to give it to Iraq. Do it, on your own. Another, General Electric. We talked about that. What are they doing? We mentioned this in a video or two ago. GE Vernova succeeds in obtaining an important contract in Iraq market, increased production by 3 gigawatts over a period of time. This lasts for over 5 years, basically. How much are they putting down? They're investing $1.4 million US dollars to get that started. Another article here is the Prime Minister's visit to Washington was successful by all standards. Basically, what are they saying? It says Washington these meetings that they've had was 100% successful. I think that's pretty much a slam dunk. The continuation of this long visit indicates that the second party has very great acceptance in the United States. Notice the motorcades, right? Indicate that the visit, it was a success by all standards. Basically stating that the visit focused on economic, commercial aspects, and this is what led to success of this visit, is because of the nature of all these businesses that are putting their hands up, putting their money up, putting their MOUs up, putting their contracts. The amount of deals are immense. What are they talking about? 100% success rate. That is awesome news. Back to the water. They're having a meeting Monday with who? Turkey, Speaker of the Grand Turkish National Assembly. What are they doing? They're talking between the two countries, especially the water and security files. Can't beat that, because he's coming home, and he's got al-Sudani's coming home, his team's coming home, al-Awlaq should be coming home, everybody involved should be coming home, and they should have some things to deal with, which is the budget, the tripartite budget. We already talked about it. So what did they do? They went to Texas this morning. They were in the city of Houston. What's in Texas? A lot of big business. We have a lot of oil business, and we have big pharmaceutical businesses. McKesson, for one of them, is in Irving, right down the street from where they were. Could they have all been together? They sure could have. Major General Rasool reveals the value of the military deal with America. It says a message of the cooperation with the United States in the military field, and its message from the Commander-in-Chief in the Armed Forces that he is interested in building military capabilities of armed forces. And he says they are signing deals with the armament sector to purchase 41 aircraft after the Prime Minister Shia al-Sudani's meeting with the President Joe Biden in the White House. So they're hammering home the armaments. They're talking about tanks. They're talking about a lot of things. F-16s, maintenance. They're going to take charge of their military operations and have us as an advisory. So they're moving from one segment to another. With the escalation of tension between Tehran and Tel Aviv, it says an expert reveals the secrets of Sudanese visit to Washington and its timing. They're basically stating that the Sudanese is trying to stabilize the government by obtaining America approval, achieving economic openness, and attracting foreign investments. Okay, we can see that to be obvious. But it says, hey, think about this. The visit was planned 3 months ago, and its date was only announced a month ago. So they've been working on this. That's why all these things, that 130 personnel showing up, planes of people showing up to do business. Fascinating. It says they give the reasoning, etc., of why he wasn't able to be here. But he's accomplished so much and he's proven himself. That's why al-Sudani's been able to make it. And what are they talking about? Here it says these projects now have become a national and prestigious projects for Iraq and have attracted attention of not only Iraqi experts and what they expect, but the development of other countries by obtaining the U.S. approval to implement these projects. And this is coming, some of these things are coming from Iranian experts of all things. So check this article out. There's a lot of stuff that's, one of the key things I guess I just missed was a quote that says, the establishment of the central government crossings, even income from import and export become available to the government directly, and this greatly reduced the strength of the region. Even in the case of Kirkuk, the region was unable to do anything, and regarding the issue of budget allocation, the central government implemented its decisions, so it's done something, okay? From now on, according to the federal court ruling just recently, the salaries of the region's employees will be paid directly by the central government. So from now on, the central government will operate with greater powers than the Kurdistan region. The Kurdistan region may not like that, but it's going to be fair, fast, and furious. When people get paid, they're going to get paid on time. And that is exactly what I think the citizens at the end of the day would prefer. And back to Texas, it says al-Sudani's details energy projects to talk about a new idea in exploiting their wealth. We all know that Iraq has a significant amount of wealth, and one of those things is gas. But it says the Arab-American Bilateral Chamber of Commerce in Houston, Texas, as part of his official visit to the United States, according to a statement received by the news agency, basically are stating that as well as investment opportunities for specific projects and promotion of the fifth complementary and the sixth round, which includes 30 oil gas fields, gas exploration blocks in Anbar, Nineveh, Diwania, Najaf, and Muthana. Iraq is witnessing a stable security situation throughout the country. Therefore, these big companies that I've just mentioned are willing to come and expand business. I think it's just rock star good stuff, everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens tonight at these meetings, at these dinners, or whatever al-Sudani's having tonight. But anyway, al-Sudani to the American media, it says the stage is witnessing an important turning point in Iraq's relationship with the United States. Do you think? Al-Sudani stated that the stage is witnessing an important turning point to the relationship with the United States, which has focused for years on security and military cooperation, stressing that this visit witnessed the laying of the correct foundations for the transition to comprehensive relations in all sectors, economic, political, cultural aspects, in addition to security aspects within the framework of cooperation. And they're just knocking it home. Will he be coming home to Iraq and have the water boiling with Turkey? It's probably going to be warmed up, be sure. So listen, I know that was a lot of fast, furious information, but everybody should be excited to know that al-Sudani just rocked it. He's rocking it tonight even. And what we expect is that they showcased this country like they've never done before. We've never seen this. Anybody that's been in this investment since 2003 has never witnessed what we're witnessing today. Absolutely. If they were going to come out at 1,310 dinar to try to do all the things that they're doing right now, the world would be just like they were in Kuwait, crickets. Okay? This is powerful. It's wonderful. Thank you for being with me. If you like my content, please hit that like button, smash it a few times if you can. I'm sorry, you can only do that once. But be sure that all of your donations that have helped us keep going, helped Samson, helped everybody, all of our team, Gigi, she welcomes everybody into Discord, keeps the place running smoothly. That's what they go for. Some of these things take us 24/7 to do all this information, but the cool part about it is you get a good education, and in Patreon, you be treated fairly. Just play by the rules and enjoy. And by the way, we have Zelle, Venmo, and PayPal. Thank you folks very much for being with us. It's exciting times. Once again, guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you like this content. Subscribe to the channel or join us at the Militia Man and Crew Patreon community for even more exclusive content. You can also donate to this channel by hitting the links in the banner to help keep this page up and running. Your generous support is greatly appreciated, as always. Much, much appreciated. Thank you so much and have a great day.